neem leaves for survival. And where should you live? You live under the tree. What is your bedding? How you sleep? Use your hands. So just hearing that is only very frightening, right? And then you have to take cold water shower every day, you know, and you have to live in the jungle where leopards and tigers and all are there. You know. So His Holiness Radhat Maharaj was one time mentioning that he used to live in that kind of environment, for some time. So just thinking about it itself makes spiritual life impossible. But now, what did Prabhupada do? Prabhupada and the previous acharyas, they do. Saraswati Thakur promoted this. What he did is, he said 64 rounds for those who are staying in the temple, and for those who are preaching, 16 rounds. So Saraswati Thakur gave so much emphasis to preaching, and that's what Prabhupada actually expounded, the mode of Saraswati Thakur. So let us look into the depth of what is our sampradaya, because our sampradaya is really, really amazing, really astounding sampradaya. So our sampradaya, the basis of our sampradaya, the root of our sampradaya is actually causeless mercy. So if you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than, actually, because Mahaprabhu's mood is Radharani, so Mahaprabhu is Radha. So what he's doing is constantly crying for Krishna. Now Mahaprabhu is going one step further. If you read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu, after the Rath Yatra, entered into the water and had pastimes with his devotees. They were splashing water and playing. And Prabhupada says that when Mahaprabhu was playing in the water with his devotees, having water sports, Mahaprabhu was not in the mood of Krishna. What is Krishna's mood? Krishna is supreme enjoyer. But Mahaprabhu's mood, Prabhupada comments that Mahaprabhu in those Vrindavan pastimes, I mean, if, you can say, enacting those Vrindavan pastimes in the water, Mahaprabhu was taking the mood of a servant of Radharani. And that is our sampradaya, is to promote this being the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of Srimati Radharani. So this mood Mahaprabhu gave us, Anarpita Charim Chirat, and the main distributor of this mood is actually Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is the main distributor of Mahaprabhu's mercy. And that's why Prabhupada, and what is the mood of Nityananda Prabhu? What is this Braj mood? Is to distribute Krishna consciousness. That's why Mahaprabhu introduced two things mainly. One is chanting, Harinam Sankirtan, and spreading, preaching. So these both things are very important. And this is the secret to our progress in Krishna consciousness. Actually, Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur says, to the extent that you're attached to Lord Chaitanya, to that extent you will be attracted, or you will spontaneously become attracted by the mercy of Mahaprabhu. You will become attracted to lotus feet of Radharani. Spontaneously, you will become attracted. So now my spiritual master says something further, that if you want to become purified, generally we know that the thing which is separating us from Krishna's lotus feet, from having enthusiasm to serve, spontaneous enthusiasm to give pleasure to the senses of Krishna, the thing which is separating is anarthas, impurities. So Maharaj mentioned that the way to become free from impurities is to develop our love and develop our attachment to Lord Chaitanya. So the more and more we develop our attachment to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, that is the easiest way, simple way to actually gain the qualification. Because in order to gain the qualification to develop attachment to Krishna and Vrindavan, you need a very special kind of qualification. Like His Grace Haripashad Prabhu mentioned, that ordinary Vaidhi Bhakti will not lead to Raganuga. But this Vaidhi Bhakti is different. This different because Mahaprabhu, by becoming attached to Mahaprabhu, and especially by serving Mahaprabhu through the mode of Nityananda Prabhu, because Nityananda Prabhu is the main person to propagate Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu's mood. So Nityananda Prabhu's mood is what? Is take it whether you like it or not. Take it whether you want it. I will not stop giving it to you, even if you kick me on the face. So that is Nityananda Prabhu's mood. So the more and more we cultivate this mood of in whatever extent, whether people treat us nicely or not, to whatever extent we cultivate this mood of spreading Krishna consciousness, giving Krishna consciousness, that is our only way, and that is the easiest way to actually gain entrance to Vrindavan. And that's why His Grace Haripasha Prabhu mentioned that generally you cannot do this. You cannot propagate spontaneous devotional service in a mass, but Prabhupada did. Prabhupada did. How did Prabhupada propagate spontaneous devotion in a mass? By promoting the mission of Lord Chaitanya. Because the mission of Lord Chaitanya and the spontaneous mood of Vrindavan is non-different. There is no difference. Absolutely, there is no difference. So that's why you see like Chandramauli Maharaj, His Holiness Chandramauli Maharaj, he is coming next few days. If you just hear his words, if you hear the words of all the pure devotees, like you can feel that they have so much attraction for Krishna, so much attraction for Krishna. And their renunciation is so great. Their taste for the holy name is so great. So that shows that they have developed spontaneous attachment to the name, to the form, the qualities and activities of the Supreme Lord. Right? So how did they do that? How? Because if you see their life, that year after year, they took this mood of spreading Krishna consciousness. You know, whether it's book distribution, whether it's preaching, whether it's prasad distribution. So, like, it's very, very powerful, very, very powerful. This chanting of the holy name. And also another amazing thing, His Grace Haripasha Prabhu showed me Jiva Goswami's Tika. Sanatan Goswami's Hari Bhakti Vilas. In that, Sanatan Goswami mentions how to overcome Namaparad. Generally, we say, right, the way to overcome Namaparad is to chant more. So he said, no. Jiva Goswami says clearly, Sankirtan. Then Haripasha Prabhu was saying that Sankirtan means not only Kirtan, but also preaching. So by this preaching movement is the easiest way, the quickest way to become free from the impurities. Impurities means aparad, nam aparad, because nam aparad is the most dangerous thing. Is the most, because once you overcome nam aparad, once you chant nam offenselessly, means that you're going to get purified very quickly, because then that means you're on Nishta platform. On Nishta platform, the mind is fixed. Gaurvanmal says the mind is fixed. That means you're always heading towards Ruchi. So instead of getting Ruchi once in a week or once in 2 weeks, you get Ruchi every day, because your Naam is attentive and your Naam is offenseless. So this is the most amazing thing that we have, is that, Nityananda Prabhu, this mood of preaching Krishna consciousness. So it's true, preaching is not, we're not doing preaching to actually deliver people, but we're doing preaching to deliver ourselves from the aparat. So the more and more we engage in this preaching movement, Sankirtan preaching, more and more Lord Chaitanya will be pleased with us. So, and the more we become attached to Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet, we're getting purified. We become attracted to Mahaprabhu's pastimes. And then without our knowing only, that will take us. Without our knowing, that will elevate us. By the offenseless hearing and chanting of God Leela, one can attain. Actually, there's so many benedictions in Charitamrita. Just by hearing God Leela, one can attain the highest perfection. God Leela is so powerful, because there's so many pure devotees. And it's undoubtedly you become attracted to them because they are just an ocean of those qualities, and they're an ocean of compassion. Like Haridas Thakur, who is a crown crest jewel, Namacharya. His humility is just heart melting. Even the most sinful person, if he hears about Haridas Thakur, his heart will melt because Haridas Thakur is, the supreme pure. And then Mahaprabhu is calling him. He says, "I am so fallen. I am born in a Muslim, in a Muslim, lineage or whatever." Sanatana and Rupa Goswami, how much humble they are. Everyone is on that same category practically in Chaitanya Charitamrita. How humble they are. Their humility of everyone, every single associate is like heartbreaking humility. So it's very attractive. So definitely become attracted to them. And if you become attracted to them, what is the benediction? Definitely, Narottam Das Thakur says in his song, if you Gaurangera Sangigane Nitya Siddha Korimani, if you accept these are Nitya Siddhas, it's very easy to accept them as Nitya Siddhas. If you read the way they are, practicing their devotional service, there is no doubt. Then Tara Hoy Brajabhumi Vas. Immediately you attain Brajabhumi, you attain Vrindavan. So this is the quick way, easy way, safe way that Prabhupada propagated to actually attain the lotus feet of Krishna. So, also one more thing, Shripadendrapur was recently hearing is amazing, amazing. We were speaking about Damvas residing in Vrindavan, and he said something really amazing. He said that the holy name of Krishna, not different from Krishna, of course, the holy name of Krishna, it considers offenses, as we know, the 10 offenses to the holy name. But he said that the holy names of God and Nitai, Mahaprabhu, they don't consider any offense. So he said, when you chant the holy name, the same Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but with the conception that these are the names of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, like Krishna is Lord Chaitanya and Ram is Nityananda Ram. Then you chant in that way, begging for their mercy. Then he says that then you're chanting Krishna, you're chanting God. You can try this. When you're chanting the holy name, many times when the mind is wandering, when the mind doesn't want to chant, just take a picture or deity or whoever of Gaurnitai, any Gaurnitai in the world, you place it before you, you start chanting. You don't have to meditate, just looking at them. You can chant and hear, but by meditating on the feet of God and Nitai, you see it's so much easier to chant. Chanting becomes so much easier when you do that. And then he said, so if you by your chanting, by your activities, if you please God and Nitai and Mahaprabhu Nityananda Prabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is even willing to give himself to the non-devotees. According to Chaitanya Bhagavat, Mahaprabhu is willing to give himself even to the non-devotees. So if you can convince by your by engaging in the preaching mission and by your humble service attitude, if you can convince Mahaprabhu Nityananda Prabhu to appear in your holy name, then he says that what to speak of going to Vrindavan, you have the qualification to take Vrindavan anywhere and everywhere you want. So it's very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. So this mission of Lord Chaitanya is amazing. It's amazing. So the more and more we engage in this activity of spreading Krishna consciousness, in an attempt to spread Krishna consciousness with a humble mood, the more and more we are going closer to Vrindavan. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt. And that's a safe path. That's a safe path. Of course, by Mahaprabhu's mercy, slowly our senses will become controlled. Slowly will become strict and following the regulated principles. But ultimately, this is the route. The route of attaining perfection in the holy name, attaining perfection, any kind of perfection, is mercy of God in this age of Kali. That is the only way. That is the only way. His only Shivra Maharaj also says that if you try to approach Krishna directly, you can try for millions of lives, nothing will happen. Right? You see, you just read in Bhagavad Gita how difficult this is. Very dear to me in the 13th chapter, right? 13th chapter, 12th chapter, sorry, 12th chapter, 13 to 20. I mean, the chapter on pure devotional service, I forget which chapter. So if you want to become very, very dear to Krishna, just see the qualifications. You should not be disturbed. No one should be disturbed by you. You should be detached. You should always be determined. I mean, one verse is enough to at least humble myself. So the only hope is the mercy of God Nitai. So more and more we develop attachment to God Nitai. We serve their mission by propagating the holy name and by propagating the holy name and by um, distributing books, by preaching, whatever way. That is the quick way for us to actually make advancement. The quick way for us to make advancement in this age of Kali. So then everything will happen automatically. By their mercy, everything will happen. See, the thing is that this mood of spreading Krishna consciousness, what it does is it creates a kind of simplicity and enthusiasm in the heart. It fosters that simplicity and so when you become simple and enthusiastic, because when you distribute books or when you do kirtan, then you have to how to say, you have to embrace people, at least in your heart. If you think that you are better than them, you cannot do it. So you are forced to take a humble position. So when you take this humble position, then Mahaprabhu's gift is he gives this simplicity and enthusiasm. So when you become very simple and you become very enthusiastic, then you can put unflinching faith. So when you put unflinching faith, 100% faith you put, it's easy to put unflinching faith. So when you put unflinching faith, because when you recognize, when you completely convince that I am Patit, then you can see Patit power. Then you have the qualification to see Patit power. When you recognize Patit power, naturally you become very enthusiastic. So then you're not looking towards your Patit state anymore. You're looking towards Patit power. You're not looking at yourself. You're looking towards Krishna. You're looking towards Mahaprabhu who are so merciful. So then in that enthusiasm and that unflinching faith will naturally enable us to hear and chant more and more. So it is only Saladhar Maharaj mentioned, I'll end with this. He says, actually, the reason why we're struggling to hear and chant is because we don't have unflinching faith. Because we don't have unflinching faith, we don't believe it. We don't have 100% faith. When we say Shri Guru Charane Rati, Aise Uttamagati, that by the lotus feet of Guru, you will attain Uttamagati. So we, unfortunately, I'm speaking myself also, we don't have unflinching faith in that. Unflinching faith in that statement. And so because we don't have unflinching faith, therefore our hearing and chanting is weak. So when we can put unflinching faith on the strength of simplicity and humility, we can chant and hear more and more. We can absorb ourselves more and more in hearing and chanting about Krishna. And naturally, attraction for Krishna is not far away, right? And then where is the question for all this Kali and all these things, all this quarrel and this. When we can speak classes and classes on who is right, who is wrong, analyzing. But the point is that we don't want to. What's the point of it? We just want to get out of it. There's no, what is it? Prevention is better than cure. So instead of analyzing, philosophizing, and this situation, that situation, let's just get out of the whole thing. Just get out and spread Krishna consciousness. That's the easy way. Is only Jayadvaita Maharaj said one time in Vrindavan that the reason why we fight in the temple, we have arguments, the temple or at home, anywhere, is because we don't have the fire to preach. We don't have the fire to give this to others. That's why, But the moment we cultivate this mode of giving, that's very inspiring, very empowering, very pleasing. Lord Chaitanya, he used to go to the home of Raghav Pandit every day. It's the home, it's not a temple. So you all in homes. So why can't Lord Chaitanya visit your home every day? It's possible. It's just a matter of conscience, just a matter of the desire, just a matter of you know your Krishna consciousness. So you should always remember this point. Vaishnavas and pure devotees. Yes, they will give what Shastra says, but they will also give something that Shastra does not say. They will give something much more valuable to us than what Shastra is saying. Like there's so many examples of that in our, you know, in Srila Prabhupada. Where is it mentioned? It's mentioned 1 lakh name. Mahaprabhu says, if you don't chant 1 lakh name, then I will not accept what you offer. So then, if we are not chanting 1 lakh, we are offering. What did Prabhupada say? Prabhupada says, I take the guarantee. So this is the thing. This is the thing, right? This is. I'll end with this statement. One devotee asked Prabhupada, "What does it Nikunja mean?" Prabhupada says, "For you that means book distribution." Now, yes, it is true that Prabhupada said this that you cannot understand. So, but at the same time, we should also understand that Prabhupada is giving a benediction that by doing book distribution, you will attain that. So कहाँ से कहाँ हो गया मतलब I mean where is that and where is this? So that is a spiritual world, very exalted, very elevated, very pure. So Prabhupada brought that onto book distribution. That is Prabhupada's mercy. That is the mercy of a sadhu, mercy of a Vaishnava. You cannot understand. How can you understand? How can you prove? Can you prove? You cannot prove. Inconceivable, achintya. This is a mercy. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone has any question or comment? Online?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Danda Pranam Dr. Srila Prabhupada. Very nice class, Prabhuji. Many points you mentioned, I recollect you explaining we cannot chant how Krishna standard is so high. So we can chant in front of God Nitai and because there's no difference between them. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Very nice, Prabhuji.
Anyone else has any other question or comment online?
Two things, Prabhuji. Pick of Maya and unflinching faith.
Devidit, you want to say anything?
How you started with false ego and then how you connected Sankirtan and Rati. Amazing. Attracting Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Bringing Chaitanya Chaitanya in picture was amazing. Hearing wonderful qualities, asking about devotees. But when you quoted Krishna's Kavita, I just get mesmerized every chapter and without fail, not a single chapter where he doesn't ask the blessing of Bhutan. Amazing.
And like he says, I really like this Krishna Kavita Goswami says, Kashter Puttali. Kashter Puttali, wooden doll, which means doll also, you cannot do anything with the doll. So he is giving that kind of faith in us, faith that even if you are in such situation, Mahaprabhu will take care of you. Even if you have no ability also, they are ready to take care. Okay, please forgive me. I spoke. I didn't do any preparation today. Please forgive me. I just spoke. It's not systematic. It's not connected. It's only all of you. Goal is to please all of you. Please forgive me for my unlimited offenses. Once a kalpatarubhya kripa sindhu Paditanam Pavani Vaishnava Andhakoti Vaishnava Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All of you ki jai.